so we're working in the templates masterclass. We are building a data grid component, okay, to make it very easy to add one or many dependents within your forms experience so that as your customers are filling it out, it's easy to get the data from them and it's easy to get it into your mini CRM at Finpace. So right here, we want to pre-populate all of these fields without you doing any extra redundant work. We want to automate it. This is how you do it. Okay. So within the forms experience, you're going to come to operations, my templates, which I've done over here. Okay. I've come to my templates. I've clicked on good fit, which is for one of our customers out in Colorado. And so I come to template builder and I've got a basic data grid component right here. Okay. And it allows the first name, last name, beneficiary type, all of these fields to map right here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new page within the template builder. And we're going to name it beneficiaries, okay? Or we're gonna actually do dependents, excuse me, my apologies. So we're gonna do dependents, and let's change it to dependents, okay? In the API, we're gonna hit save. Let's go ahead and drag it and change the API, dependents, save. Now, the reason I changed the API right there was to lock in the page change, right? Otherwise it would stay as page 10. Okay, now I'll just go back and change it. Dependents, save changes, and I'll hit refresh. I'm going to show you all the little tips and tricks so you don't get stuck. So within this experience, let's go ahead and just drag a text field and hit save. Now within this, we're going to go ahead and copy this data grid component. And we're going to paste it below. Now we're going to change it to say add one or many dependents. Okay, check the data, the validation, the API. Now we want to name it dependents as it's written right here. And instead of having to put in first name, last name, middle initial for every single dependent and map all those fields, all you have to do is put dependents in the data grid. And all of these fields will automatically map. So that's pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and hit save and we'll save the changes. And when I work through this form, you'll see dependents is not there. And when I hit refresh, dependents is now there. And so I can capture these details and hit add another, however many dependents they have as well. Now here's one other cool little trick. So within the dependents, if you're filling out the CRM, say you're in a meeting, they're on a Zoom call, and you're just asking these questions and filling out the mini CRM just to save time, no more paper, no more redundant tasks, you can go ahead and fill it out. Spouse is usually not a dependent, but we'll go ahead and say it's a child. Primary, we'll say it's Sammy Schwintner. We'll hit save changes. Now you'll see that they are listed as a dependent, but they are not listed as a beneficiary. So we'll go ahead and click this button, set as beneficiary. And then you will see that the beneficiary has been automatically created for you with no extra work. So those are some tips and tricks. That's how we navigate the dependents field using a data grid component. And I will go ahead and put the JSON file in the show notes below so that if you're working through a totally separate form, all you have to do is come and click this little wrench right here. You click Control A, Control C, and then when you're in a completely different form, okay, so we'll come to templates and we'll say within investor suitability, template builder, I'm going to go ahead and add a data grid component right here. Okay. And just hit save. And then when I hit this JSON file right here, I'll hit Control A, Control V. Now I'll save it and you'll see that the one or many dependents showed up automatically. So that's the fastest way to add unified like components in different forms. Now I'm not going to save that just because we don't need it in this form. And that's how you do the JSON. So that's a very brief explanation and tutorial on how to get all of these fields inside of your CRM as quickly as possible, so that as your customers are filling out this form, it's a very simple task. It's very easy for them. It's white, clean, it's beautiful, a lot of negative space. It's underwhelming, honestly. And you didn't have to do all the work of dragging and dropping all of these fields into each and every single form. That would take forever. Trust me, I know, I've done it. That's why we built this form building experience to operate the way that it does. So the same is exactly true for beneficiaries. The same is true for children, so that as you're working through filling out the CRM, you can go as quick as possible. So we'll see you in the next video in the Templates Masterclass.